So today I wanted to talk about something different that I've never talked about before. I don't think I've even mentioned it in any of the interviews that I've done with anybody. And it's not because I don't want to talk about it. It's something that I just thought was not connected with carnivore until last week. So I want to kind of go over that like the title of the video says. It's about my thyroid. I have a growth on my thyroid, and I want to kind of just go through the whole series of events from start to today and what's going on. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is John. I'm 57 years old. I been eating carnivore for over 9 months now. The reason I'm doing this video here, you can see our baby's changing table is in my home office now. So my home office is not here anymore. Still have a desk up against there, but my wife and I decided to move our baby out of our room into her own room. And if I look a little tired, that's because she's not too thrilled about having her own room just yet. And this is also part of the story. A little bit of the history about this. A bit more than 2 years ago, I just had a regular doctor's visit. There were no issues. It was just a routine visit. And he was asking about health issues that I have. And I told him about some discomfort I had in my neck, my back, my shoulder. You know, my one arm gets a little tingly from time to time. And just a few things that have been going on for quite a while that I just got used to, especially my back issue. I've been going to chiropractors since my 20s. It was just whenever I would throw my back out or tweak it, lift something, bend the wrong way, I'd have an issue with my back. I'd go to a chiropractor. They would literally get me straightened out, and I was good to go until the next time. But he wanted to look into this a little bit more and do a deeper dive into what the issues could be. And I didn't see much need for it, but I said, okay, let's go ahead. So he sent me for, I believe first was an x-ray. And that revealed the arthritis in my neck, I think, and in my shoulder. I don't know if it was in my back or anything that was realized at that time. And he wanted a better picture. So he sent me for an MRI. Well, I went to the first place for the MRI, and I could not even fit into that tube. It was the standard tube where you lay down on the bed and they put you in, and they asked how I was doing. You know, they put me in about just right to the entrance, and I was like, oh, I'm fine. I was like, well, you need to go another 5 feet in. I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I was already, crunched up. And at that time, I was still 345, maybe 350 pounds. There was no way I was going to fit in there. So they sent me to a place that does stand-up MRIs. And in that one, that's where they found a growth on my thyroid. So with that discovery, my doctor sent me to an endocrinologist, a specialist. I went there, I had some blood work done. He also sent me for an ultrasound of my neck so that they could see what it is and the size and everything. So I went for that. I also went for to have a biopsy done, and they did the biopsy as well. And this all took place when my wife was still pregnant. That's when this all started, I should say, when she was still pregnant. We were still a few months away from having the baby. And then once we had our baby girl, it was several more months before I found out what the deal was. So at first visit, they sent me for these exams, and then it literally took about 5 months or almost 6 months to get the follow-up appointments that they wanted me to go to before I found out that, thank God, it's not cancerous. It's a benign nodule, but he wanted to monitor it still, um, because it was nothing that was interfering with swallowing or anything that I noticed. I didn't notice this at all, but he wanted to monitor it. So I wasn't put on any medication. I wasn't told to do this, not do that, anything like that. So he wanted to see me again in 6 months. So after 6 months, I went for another ultrasound, and we found out that it grew. Not a huge amount, but it was growing. So again, he just wanted to monitor everything that was going on. And so at that point, still no medication. So the next visit was in 9 months. So in 9 months, that brings us up to this month of January of 2024. At the end of 23 in December, I went and had more blood work done. I also went for another ultrasound and had that done. And from the previous visit, 9 months before and about 6 months before that, when I first saw him, he wasn't happy with my blood work. I don't know exactly what. I didn't know what questions to ask. This was all new to me. It still kind of is. Thankfully, I'm not as worried about it because it's non-cancerous. Thank God. But he wasn't thrilled with my blood work before. But in this last visit, he was very happy with my blood work. I didn't get a full list of everything that he tested. I will be meeting with my general practitioner in later in this month in January, and I'll find out what he ordered and also what my GP ordered for my annual physical, I guess. So anyway, he was very happy with my blood work, and he also noticed that I've lost almost 60 pounds, so he was very happy about that. But the amazing part of this is that the growth on my thyroid didn't just stop growing, it actually shrank in size. Now, mind you, nothing in my life has changed other than the carnivore diet. I don't take any other medications. He, again, did not tell me to eat this way, not eat this way, this, that. He was actually not very happy when I mentioned to him 9 months ago that I don't remember if I had either started carnivore or was just about to start, but he was not a fan. But he was going to leave that up to my GP and myself to decide. But he didn't think it was a good idea. And neither did my GP think that carnivore was a good idea. But that's the only thing that has changed. And the growth stopped growing and actually shrank. I don't take iodine. I don't do anything. And it is just, to me, in my mind, a true testament, another testament to the carnivore way of eating. There's nothing else that I can attribute this to. I've reversed my prediabetes. My arthritis isn't there anymore. My arthritis in my neck and in my shoulder that used to come back all the time if I went off carnivore a day. Well, I went off carnivore several times for Christmas. My shoulder isn't bothering me. This is just another example of my body is still healing from whatever healing that it needs to do. There's so many things that I know about, but this, after 9 months on carnivore, is another area that I can attribute to carnivore. Again, nothing else has changed other than my diet. My exercise is actually probably about the same as it was a year ago. I was riding my bike a little bit then. I've been riding my bike a little bit, this year, not as much as I'd like to. The weather actually here in Florida has not been all that great for riding. It's been kind of cold in the morning and we've had a lot of rain. So nothing else changed. I just cannot tell you how thrilled I am with this. And the whole part of this, if you can imagine going through my wife being pregnant, finding out I have a growth on my thyroid, my wife having the baby, and not knowing if it's cancerous or not, that was a stressful time. That was a blessing with stress involved because my weight, obviously, I was 350 pounds at the time. I just found out that I have a growth on my thyroid. I am just so thankful. Literally, in the beginning of 2023, I prayed for something to start bringing my health back because I was progressively getting worse and worse. And I truly believe that God led me to the carnivore way of eating. I hate to call it a diet, but the carnivore lifestyle. And all those things that I mentioned have improved, and at least, literally, 20 more. So, anyway, I hope this helps anybody who's having or has had thyroid issues or is worried about thyroid issues on the carnivore diet. In my experience, obviously, I'm not a doctor. Don't play one on TV or anything like that. But that has improved along with a long list of other things. So thank you for watching. God bless you, and we'll see you in the next one.